Let's get into this part where you're trying to integrate Kafka with model. So first we need to run our Kafka servers, right? So for that, we need to start with Zookeeper, right? We need to run our Zookeeper, go to the Kafka directory. Okay, I'll share the link, of how to install Kafka and all that in the description below. So this is the directory where Kafka is, and this is, I'm starting the Zookeeper. This is the first thing you have to start. After that, you have to start Kafka server. Let's start Kafka server. Here it is. So go to the bin directory, right? This is how you are starting the Kafka server. Kafka server start config server properties. That's it. It will run the Kafka server on the default port, which is good enough for us. Okay, once this is done, you want to create Kafka producer. You needn't create topic. So Kafka has this concept of topic here. Like if you want to send transaction message, you can say I will send message to transaction like credit card TX topic. So anybody who is interested to read this message will read the messages from there. Okay, so you needn't do create topic, it automatically gets created. Let's now just see the code in which we will send those messages. This is the producer code. What we are doing here, Kafka producer, we are telling the serializer, right? Since we are sending JSON contents, JSON dumps, right? We are importing JSON, JSON dumps the message encode ASCII. So it will serialize the JSON message, one of the easiest case, because our transaction records is in JSON content. Let's see the transaction record. Okay, there's some content which does not have the class in it. Of course, new transaction, right? It does not have class, but everything is in JSON. And you need to use Kafka producer to convert this JSON, serialize this JSON and send it to Kafka server. And you're reading one line of the file and sending the transaction after every 5 seconds, as you can see. This is a simple simulation of Kafka producer. You can say after every 5 seconds, somebody is swiping their credit card and the messages are going to the Kafka server. Clear? Now, what you have to do is once your messages are being sending. So if you want to send, it's simple. Just do this, right? It's sending one message at a time. You can see this message, no class information. Now let's see the model deployment part of the code. Let's increase the font. Okay, so we have this consumer on, of course, we have init. We are initializing this with the model, a little bit of hard coding here. Of course, we can pass this as an argument to the consumer. And we have Kafka information and we are telling auto offset reset. That means it will start from the beginning, whatever data is there in the Kafka server, right? Okay, this is that configuration. This is the timeout. This is again decoder of the JSON messages. And it is subscribing to this topic. Remember, when you're sending on this topic, right? Credit card TX. So when you're if you have to receive, you have to receive on the same topic, credit card TX. And as a consumer, right? As a consumer, you have to receive all the time. That's why it is inside while true. Okay, so you're receiving the messages inside message.value from records. You're dropping this time column. If you do best estimator dot predict df, right? This is each data. You're converting that data into a data frame using this function. JSON content, converting that into a data frame. Once you have a data frame, you're using model.best estimator. We have chosen third pipeline. We are using the, since it was calculated using grid search, we have to use best estimator. And we are using that to predict the outcome. And the outcome we are adding to the dictionary, which, right, message.value, this was the dictionary which consists of all the data coming from Kafka producer. We are adding this P over here. This is one more field, and which we will now write to JSON. But remember, your Cassandra need to support this function, right? JSON to table, and we want to create another table. We don't want to write in the existing table from which we read the content. So we have created another file, predict tx info. Right? Pretty much same, just one thing is different. One is the name predict, and then the P, this is the prediction. Okay, actual value was C. This is the prediction. So we just mapped. Okay, so what we are doing here, we just mapped this class predict tx info to Cassandra, right? So this table is sent. So now you're using this function, write JSON table, right? Let's see this code. Okay, let's see this code. Here you have write JSON table. All it is doing is simply writing this data to syncing this table to Cassandra. That's all. Start dict, right? Because you are passing there a dictionary. Okay, so whatever prediction is happening, it is adding to the dictionary and writing to the JSON, writing to the Cassandra. So I hope this part is clear. What we did here is we ran our Cassandra infrastructure, Zookeeper, Cassandra server. We have a Cassandra producer which will send Cassandra transaction to the Cassandra server. We have a Kafka producer which will send transactions to your Kafka server. Kafka's consumer is connected to that topic. It will read those messages, use the best algorithm to predict outcome, and then write it back to the Cassandra. So that is all is happening. Okay. So in the next video, where we will try to put this model behind REST interface.